Slayer.
Well, hi there, this is DBT, and it's time for another Karen Took Micro Showcase. And today, as celebration of Halloween, I'm showing you a monster that I know you guys have been wanting to see for a very long time, and I know that I've been wanting to show it to you for a very long time. Also, probably way longer than you have thought about it, I don't know, who cares? The point is, it's finally that time. So, of course you know, because you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, I am talking about none other than the Marauder. So how about we just have a quick look at the monster, you know, just standing there menacingly. Now, first of all, as usual, I want to shout out Abyss Walker for doing the amazing job that he has been doing with these sprites. You know, I've said it a bunch of times, these are sprites that obviously are model rips, meaning that he took the 3D model and basically took a screenshot from them. But unlike what DBT used to do in the old times, where he would just take those screenshots and import them into the game and call it a day, he actually has spent a bunch of time into, what would you say, not adding the detail, but accentuating the detail, editing each one of the sprites in order to add additional detail so that you can actually see the red eyes, you can see the little red thingy over here, and all those little details to make the sprite look so much more detailed than if it was just a simple screenshot from it. So yeah, as usual, Abyss Walker doing an amazing job with this, and I understand that not everybody loves this style of sprites. I've seen some sprites going around that other people have created that have a more doomy style, and that's a very, very respectable endeavor, but that is not what I wanted for this mod, so that's why I am so happy to see the Marauder in this capacity. Now, as far as the monster itself, well, it's gonna be a tough one to explain because, oh boy, this monster is complex. It's very much kind of what you expect from it, except, you know, some changes, as I normally say. This mod is not a one-to-one recreation of Doom Eternal, so there's some stuff that was added, or some stuff, I should say, some stuff that doesn't behave exactly like it does in the original game. Now, that's not to say that this is gonna feel like a completely different monster. In fact, how about we just jump into it? So we're gonna do another bit of showing the spawn sequence just because I think it looks pretty damn fancy with this spawn effect. Are these gonna be the final spawn effects for the monsters? I don't know, that might change over time to something a bit closer to Doom Eternal, but hey, I like it a lot. Now, I want to keep a bunch of distance from him because otherwise I'm gonna get overwhelmed, but actually I want this little dude over there to walk towards me because it's a good way to show the scale of this monster, because I've said before that these maps are very, very tall, so sometimes it's difficult to understand the actual scale of the monster. This guy, however, is the size of the Doom Slayer, so if you compare it towards this guy, well, you can see that this is quite towering above this dude. So yeah, it is quite the situation that even though, you know, he kind of looks the same size to the player, maybe, that's not the case at all. In fact, how about I show it to you, compare against the Doom Slayer himself. Oh yes, the Doom Slayer is already there, we already have the sprites for him, so that is pretty dope. But that's not what we're here for, instead we're just here to see the behavior of the monster. Like I said, I'm gonna put some distance because otherwise this dude will overwhelm me. And right away you see, he loves to run towards you. He's a very active little dude. Much like in Doom Eternal, he loves to put a ton of pressure on you, attacking from the distance or trying to close the distance really quick. Now, the way that he closes distance, I'm not gonna stand here and say that it's a smart way of doing it, because it sounds a bit pretentious to be like, oh, I created a smart system in which this guy, nah. This guy just has a bunch of conditions to determine for him to decide how is he gonna be moving towards you. Obviously, if he's very far away, you can see that he runs towards you. But while he's running, you will notice also that he loves to spam those axe projectiles, and from time to time he will also dash forward and a little bit to the side as a way of dodging, but at the same time to close the distance suddenly. So you stay far away from him, he will be happy to attack you from afar and try to close the distance as soon as possible. Now, when he gets a bit closer, you'll notice he starts walking and he continues to throw projectiles at you, because you stay too far away from him, he'll spam. But if you start getting too close to him, he'll start to do something like this. Now, you know this attack very well because you have seen it in Doom Eternal and you kind of know how it works. He just basically does a relatively long-range melee attack, meaning it's a close quarter combat, but not so close. That is kind of the idea behind it. Now, Give me 1 second because otherwise I'm gonna die over here. So let me activate the Buddha mode. Alright, there we go. I just activated it with a little pause that you may not have noticed, but hey, it's fine. So, yeah, this guy absolutely intends to get close to you. Like I said, when he's close enough, he starts walking. But the fact that he walks doesn't mean that he's any less aggressive. In fact, you'll notice that from time to time, even though he's walking because he's in that comfortable distance for him, he will still run towards me and try to do the melee attack, just like that. So he absolutely runs towards you when he's too fast, too far, and then when he closes up a little bit, he walks and starts spamming more projectiles, but from time to time he still decides to just run and either throw another projectile at you or do the long-range melee attack, if you can call it that. So yeah, this is indeed a bit of pressure, but that's not all. What else does this guy normally do? Well, let's give him an opportunity to showcase what he does when he gets a bit closer to you, because trust me, this isn't all. So right now, like I said, I'm in Buddha mode, which is basically being in God mode, only I do take damage, but I don't actually die. So I'm gonna let him get close to me and, well, you see what happens? He instantly becomes super aggressive. He has a lot of like I said, conditions to determine which attack is he gonna be doing. For the most part, he tries to close the distance towards you, and if you're extremely close, he will either start doing that thing where he dodges to the side and then decides to maybe use the shotgun and push you back to make some more distance to allow... Oh, hello, this guy blocked him. To allow the opportunity to do more melee attacks. You can see I'm sometimes having troubles even following him with my aim, just because he's so mobile. Again, you get close to him and that is indeed an error, or if you let him get close to him. But again, you keep enough distance and he will try to close the distance or spam projectiles at you, because that's what he loves doing. So as you can see, he puts a ton of pressure, a lot of pressure towards you. And keep in mind that this is not gonna replace a Cyber Demon as some people have suggested. This actually will replace from time to time, and even though I don't like to talk about this very often, I think it's important for you to understand that this is not gonna be a common monster, but it's not gonna be as rare as a Cyber Demon. This guy will from time to time replace a Baron of Hell, rarely, or more often, it will also replace an Archvile. So yeah, you will absolutely encounter this guy, not extremely commonly, but it will not be extremely rare either. So imagine fighting this guy with a bunch of other monsters at the same time. Well, this guy's just running at you at all times, and the moment you get close to him, attack, more attack, pushes you and starts dodging around. So yeah, he's a bit of a pain in the ass. Now, you may notice that I haven't shot at him once. Why is that? Well, you know, I did say that there were some things that I had to change to how it works in Doom Eternal, and you know, the shield is a big thing in Doom Eternal, but you know how difficult it would be to try to replicate the behavior of that thing? Well, I didn't. I did not replicate it, but that doesn't mean I did not add a shield. In fact, what am I saying? It's very, very similar. So, actually I missed that shot, great. He is absolutely 100% always protected by that shield, and of course you shoot him while you shouldn't, and he's still gonna summon that little doggy who's over here very happy to try to bite my face off. So as you expect, and as you've seen before, you attack him at the wrong moment. If he's not doing the glaring eye thingy where he does that sound and you see the green thingy, yeah, the shield is still up, and it's not a good idea because very often he will summon a wolf to attack you. So now this wolf, it is limited to only one wolf per Marauder at the same time. So it's not like if I keep on shooting, oh Jesus, he was charging at me too. If I shoot him again, he still puts out the shield, but he will never summon another wolf until this one is actually dead, in which case then he's happy to start summoning again. Now the wolf, you can see, is pretty damn agile. He's absolutely here not to deal a ton of damage to you, but just be enough of a distraction for the Marauder to have an opportunity. And this is actually why I chose the little arena, because I do have a bunch of space to run. And remember, Doom maps normally don't give you this much space. So I do have the space to run, but you know, in the end, this guy's still in no time right in my face. So then how the hell do you deal with the shield? Well, of course, you gotta wait until he shines his eyes, and at that point, you're good. you're able to deal some damage to him. You see he gets staggered, or whatever is the word, stunned, I would say. You still even see the little effect of the circle and the pentagrams on his head, indicating that that's the moment to attack it. Now, I'm not gonna implement that annoying sound that Doom Eternal added, where you know, when you stun him, it plays this weird sound. I think they added it to him after they added the hammer in the expansion of Doom Eternal. So I don't like that sound. So over here is just a visual cue. I think it's pretty clear. If you got it stunned, I think it's pretty clear that you did it, and it's a good moment to attack. Now, another thing that it's a little bit different from Doom Eternal, and I think this is a good opportunity for me to talk a little bit about what do you call it? Quick swap, I think, or quick switch, which is that mechanic that Doom Eternal has where you can switch weapons extremely fast and deal stupid amounts of damage. It's not exactly like this in Doom Eternal. I'm sorry, in Current 2. I understand why a lot of people like it, but trying to replicate it perfectly, it's quite a task, and I don't like that absolutely frenetic style of gameplay of button mashing. Instead, I added a slightly weaker version of it, and you can see I'm just happy dodging the attacks, but I really cannot stand still without him getting me in my face. So I bring all of that up because a very normal combo to use against this guy is doing a triple shot of Ballista Super Shotgun Ballista in order to deal a ton of damage. But over here you only have time to really do Ballista Shotgun or whatever else. You don't really have a huge window of time because of how long the stun lasts for the monster, and because of the points at which you can swap the weapons. And this is something that I'm not gonna be changing further. I really like where the game is at this moment in regards to the weapon swapping. So there you go. Just wanted to talk briefly about that. So if you're expecting to do that crazy stuff that you can do in Doom Eternal, I think there's other mods that for GC Doom, meaning with better features instead of the Xandronum compatibility that I'm going for with Current 2, that emulates that frenetic style of gameplay better. So I think that's better suited for you. But this, like I said, it's a different recipe. So anyway, yeah, you can see that indeed when he attacks you with in the eyes glare or flare or whatever you want to call it, that is the moment where he is vulnerable, and that is when you want to deal as much damage as you can if you have the time to do so. Like I said, the window is short. It's not a lot of time for you to deal damage, and at the same time it's not a ton of damage for you to actually both to deal the damage and the window in which he allows you to deal the damage. So I don't know, it's definitely very fun because, like I said, this guy is just absolutely relentless. And yeah, that's why I've been taking a very long time to showcase this monster, because we wanted to get the sprites as good as possible, the actual monster sprite and then the attacker sprites that Franco has made, and the shield and all of that stuff. You know, we have been working really hard on getting this thing done, and I'm finally glad to show it to you in this special showcase for Halloween. Now, what else can I show you about the monster? Well, that's basically the behavior of the monster. Now, like I said, it's not extremely common monster, but it's not extremely rare either. So imagine what happens if you encounter two of them. Well, how about we just test it? How difficult is it to deal with these two dudes? Trust me, it's not exactly super easy, but so long as you know what you're doing, you have your weapons, and you stay, you know, alert as to when, oh jeez, you have the opportunity to attack, then you should be alright. Obviously, right now I'm in sort of God mode, so I'm not gonna die. But you will notice really quick how easy it is to get overwhelmed by just two of these dudes. And another thing is that if you compare the rate at which this guy attacks compared to Doom, oh Jesus Christ, Doom Eternal, oh Jesus. Let me get some resources because I'm dying over here. This guy doesn't seem to attack as often as Doom Eternal, but that is actually one thing that I did want to make sure that I didn't make this guy extremely obnoxious, because Doom Eternal actually controls where you're gonna face these guys. The maps are made in a way that they're arenas, and oh, in this arena you're gonna face one of these guys, or maybe two, or whatever is the case, right? However, in here, because you know, it's based on the whatever monster it is replacing. Jesus Christ, can I get a good window to damage him, to deal some damage? Yeah, so you have, oh Jesus. you absolutely want to be close to him, but at the same time you want to not to. So because of the possibility of you encountering a couple of these dudes from time to time, and not necessarily in big areas like this, yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough for you to deal with this. So that is why I also give a slightly more forgiving window of opportunity for you to not be attacked endlessly by this guy. But hey, you see, two of these guys have run out of ammo and I'm having a bunch of trouble dealing with them. So yeah, they're quite a handful. Now if you're thinking, well, maybe we can cheese them and we can throw a grenade behind them and all of that, none of this works. The guy is always protected by the shield. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, the shield is always there. And in fact, as you see right there, if you attack him from the front, he will actually bounce the projectiles. So you really don't want to be using something like this, because if he's not in the right moment, you can see he just bounces the rockets right back at you. And because these are seeking rockets, because you're using the seeking module, well, you know, that's definitely not going to be fun times for you. No, fortunately that didn't quite work. And I did mention from the front, because actually if you shoot him from the side, he will not bounce the projectile. This is actually one functionality that is baked into Z-Doom, GC-Doom, and Xandronum. It has this function where it will only bounce projectiles from the front, not from the side, so I took advantage of that opportunity. And that is why he will bounce rockets like that. But if you hit him from the side, that's not going to be the case. But anyway, can you freeze this guy? No, you can't. Can you freeze the wolf? No, you can't. Can you set the wolf on fire? No, you can't. Can you set the Marauder on fire? Yes, you can. That is the one thing you can do against the Marauder. Set him on fire. Even though he puts the shield up, he still gets affected by the burny sensation, and he will drop some armor for you. So you do have that little bit of an opportunity. But other than that, really, nothing else works against him. So the only way to deal damage to him is just wait for your window and make sure to deal as much damage as you can while you can, and hope to God that you have enough ammo to deal with him. So that is indeed the Marauder. As you can see, it's absolutely a pain in the ass. I think you guys are gonna have a lot of fun when you fight him, and at the same time, if you have the absolute worst what was that? The absolute worst RNG ever, and you encounter more than one, and let alone you encounter a few of them, you're gonna have a hard time. But hey, this is doable. Like I keep on saying, all the balance in the game, it's work in progress at the moment, so don't expect this to stay the way that it is. If I find that it is indeed too difficult to deal with, or maybe I made the monster too common, I'll continue to change stuff for the sake of balancing the game. But there it is, the almighty Marauder, with all of the features that I could bring into the game in the most faithful way that I could. It's all right there. So that is gonna do it for this showcase. But before I end this video, how about I take this opportunity to invite you, as usual, to watch my secondary channel, the House of Vrooms, which is where I upload any and everything related to the racing games that I love playing and I love uploading over there. There's pretty much daily videos over there, so if you want to watch some Vroomy action, that is the place to do so. Other than that, that is gonna be it for the showcase. Again, I am a little bit sorry that it took a very long time for me to make this showcase. I know that I left you guys without any updates for like a month and a half or so, but I figured it was gonna be worth it to finally show this monster that everybody wanted to see. So here we are, and I do hope that you have enjoyed it. That's gonna be it for right now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and stay safe. Bye-bye.